Hello, greetings, and salutations. Welcome back to the BFC, guys. How are we doing today? This is where we go into the trenches of the trading world, DD from the source, and I would not have it any other way. We have an awesome show planned, and let me tell you, today was a beautiful day in Buffalo. And so if you're down where that hurricane's coming through in the southeast, stay safe. All right, I hope you guys get through it. And that's why Rob is not with us tonight, because he is preparing for the hurricane. So stay safe out there. Very blessed to be here in Buffalo and enjoying this weather. And hey, to my Discord members, I will be, we're going to be reconvening immediately after the show. All right, for a Discord only conversation with SFWJ CEO Gabriel Diaz. But more on that later. It's going to be very exciting. But let's not waste any time. Let's get into the nitty gritty. Please welcome the president of Authentic Holdings, ticker AHRO, Mr. Chris Giordano. Let's bring him in.
Rising like a phoenix from the ashes of hell, Authentic Holdings is on a quest to build out their 4 subsidiaries to new heights. Maybach's Global has been networking into huge broadcast markets across the United States and has already reached 18 million homes. But they aren't stopping there. Maybach's is penetrating the global streaming market and are setting themselves up to smash company records in coming quarters. Through their ad rev and vast tag program, they are not only increasing revenue, but increasing shareholder confidence through transparency and execution. Buckle up, because this phoenix is going to take the summer market by storm. Authentic Holdings, ticker AHRO.
Hey, Eric.
Chris, welcome back to the BFC. How you doing?
You couldn't have described it any better. Okay, it was hell.
You know, by the way, it's Chris's birthday. So on behalf of the BFC community, happy birthday to you, sir.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Now,
so what's going on?
Well, listen, don't be pulling that EM baloney again. Let's stay current, right?
From this point on, okay, I think it's going to be a whole lot easier exercise. Remember, okay, that 10K was just a bear, and it led us into first quarter where they had to make certain, okay, that everything matched up, okay, with the 10K. Now we're going into the second quarter. Okay, the second quarter, okay, should be a whole lot easier. I had a long conversation with our auditor, okay, on Friday, and he said there are 2 comments that came back from EQR. So there are 2 minor adjustments that need to be made, and I think we're going to be good this week. We'll be good this week to file. Okay, now filing, okay, is another process, as you know. Okay, so it takes a day or 2 for XBRL, depending on how busy the printer is. But remember, we're coming in there with everybody else at the same time. So, but we should be good within the confines of the extension. We'll be filing second quarter. Awesome. Maybe sooner. We'll see.
This is great stuff. So, in all seriousness, all right, I want to get right to the meat. All right, your tweet on Friday was very bold, and you talked about, you know, contract review with 2 multi-billion-dollar publicly traded companies. It is your belief that one of these will be signed in the next 7 to 10 days. An 8K and press release will ensue. So what can you give us?
I can't give you names, but I can tell you the partnerships with 2 multi-billion-dollar companies that control the operating systems of almost 200 smart TV manufacturers. On a global basis. You know, they have a footprint of over 200 million households in which these TVs, okay, reside. And we're in legal review right now with both entities at the moment, but chances are we're going to sign one of them, okay, before this week is out. And after that, we'll put out the press release. You'll know who it is. And, you know, it's a watershed deal for us.
Awesome. This is great stuff. All right. Now, for those that are confused, all right, why don't you explain what VAST tags are and how this plan is going to increase your ad revenues? Okay.
So right now, okay, the only source of revenue we have at Maybach's has been driven, okay, by what are known as insert ads. And insert ads, okay, are part of schedule programming, what's known as OTA and over the air. Scheduled commercials occur within the confines of a scheduled programmable hour. There are only so many hours in a day. So there are only so many minutes available per day, okay, for insert ads. So VAST tags, on the other hand, are digital ads that occur with streaming channels. So not over the air networks. Over the air networks, it's the standard form of advertising, and ours are driven, okay, by direct response advertisers, okay, that have to call in an 800 number. It's not Nielsen rated, okay. Nielsen's a very expensive process to get done. It can cost millions of dollars, okay, to get a Nielsen rating. So rather than do that, they'd rather use an 800 number because they can see the response, okay. You know, how many responses do you get? And we're tracking fairly well right now with just one channel, okay, which is Comfy TV. Vast tags, okay, you're going to go across a spectrum of all 29 of our channels, and they go on all day long. It's infinite as to how many you could run, you know, within the confines of, you know, okay, let's say a calendar week, okay, or a calendar month or a calendar year. It's almost infinite, okay, because the auctions occur. Advertising agencies, you know, that we have are the two largest in the world. And at this point, they're going to represent all our VAS tag revenue. So, you know, to give you an idea, okay, how large the opportunity can be with VAS tags. I don't know if some of the people here have probably been around quite a while, so they remember Local B and the.
Chris, you just cut out. I'm not sure if you guys, if it cut out on your end. So let me know in the chat. Are we locked up right now? That's what I want to know. This was just getting juicy. What the hell? So I'm not sure if you guys, if we're having internet issues or not. So, by the way, Chris, we lost you. So I'm going to try and get him back. This is when Rob comes in handy. So Rob, if you're watching right now, you're having a chuckle. I do want to say hello to, let me know, guys. All right. Yeah, he's frozen up. All right. So Chris is frozen up. Chris, try to reconnect and I'll get you back in. Yep, he's going to reconnect. And so, hey, I want to say hi to all of you guys. All right. Polyfish, the video. Guys, Unboxing Bastard, Bella, great to see you. All right, the big BS. Bella again. Oh, where we got? We got Gary Wright. Gary, hey, it's me, Brian. There you are, Brian. Michael Singleton. All right, it's great to see you guys and great to be here. So we're gonna, yeah, this is about how it is right now. So hopefully he is reconnecting, and we'll go on right from there. So I like what I hear so far. Based on what he's telling us, I think it's great that they're going to be expanding into these markets, and I'm excited to find out who, you know, who these big contracts are with. So, you know, if you guys want to just stand by, I'm going to try and get him on the horn, and you know, let's do some throwback here. I think we do a throwback. I don't know. Do we have a throwback? I think we do. So let's do this. Oh, wait. I think he's back with us already. No. All right. He is backstage. He's just waiting to totally connect here. So, and I'm gonna do the where were you? So yeah, he's having trouble connecting. So let's watch some throwback, and I'll get him on the horn. All right, guys.
We've got many, many interesting companies that touch AI that, you know, I see you're wearing a headset. Well, we have a company that came out of the University of Michigan 14 years ago, but now principally a lot of it's related to Harvard, a company that is similar to Elon Musk's Neuralink, except non-invasive. So we've invested in a company called Neurable, and you can listen to Ramses, is the founder. He's interviewed on our YouTube channel. And what it does is the headset, we provide the software engine to that headset. So the headset can still do everything that you're doing. You're listening, you could listen to music, you're communicating, but we embed, let's call it a chip-like system, whereby the headset reads your electromagnetic waves in your brain. And by you, for example, thinking that you want to now not speak to me, but speak to somebody else who gets inserted, you just have to think and it actually will get executed. So you can change the music you're listening to. You can change your PowerPoint. I know this sounds very futuristic, but it's here today. This company is commercializing as we speak. Jackson and I just ordered headphone sets because it's launching in the next 60 days. But one of the first key applications is going to, I'll say, affect, an element of cognitive decline. And what I mean by that is we all talk. And as we talk, we think of what we're talking about, but then we sometimes go on tangents. And sometimes those tangents are relevant, but in many cases in our life, in your work, in whatever you do, you lose focus. The headset is going to command and say, guess what, Sheldon? Get back into focus. You're straying from your thoughts. So we believe this is going to be a huge business. We've been told by many of the headphone manufacturers that they want to embed this software into all their headphones because people are going to want to know and execute. And think of the paraplegic communities and those who are suffering disabilities that only have their brain, but they can't work the rest of their body. They can now interact in a real-time way.
Now we got Chris back.
Sorry about that, guys.
I just want to tell you, Chris, normally I don't plug other companies when I'm doing a segment with another one, but see, that's why we always have those on standby. So you were talking to us about VAST tags. You were talking about the networks that you're getting into. So why don't you? I want you to start right from the top of that, just so we could.
Okay.
Sure, yeah, let's start from the top. Go for it.
So scheduled ads I covered, okay, and that's basically known as insert ads. Okay, they are 30-second, 1 minute, 2 minute slots that they pay us a certain amount for, and we usually use about 16. We're going from 10 minutes to 14 minutes now because there is a demand, okay, for just one particular network that we seem to have a lot of traction with called Comfy TV. So Comfy TV is ranked number 3, okay, in the entire country, okay, on a group, okay, called Cord Cutters. Okay, it's a Facebook group, okay, which is great. We got 2 other channels in there in the top 10, so we're starting to garner a lot of moss. Okay, so getting into VAST tags. VAST tags have nothing to do with with scheduled television. It has everything to do with streaming television. And they are digital ads for the most part, okay? And they pop up as part of an auction. So if you go to a streaming channel, you may notice sometimes, okay, that before the show begins, before they allow you to start, you'll see an ad pop up. If you click on the ad, it's no longer an impression, it's a click through, okay, and you get paid. So that being said, it goes on all day long. Okay, it's not like it stops. Okay, it's a continuum. Okay, that will go on. Okay, for the entirety of a day, and it depends on the advertising agency that you're using. We use a group called Smarty Ads, and Smarty Ads, okay, is based out of Israel. They're probably one of the best in the business, and they have a minimum, kind of like a residual that you would put on an eBay item or something like that, right? And that's $7. So every time somebody watches an ad, we get paid $7. That adds up very quickly because if you recall, when we had that agreement with local B television back in October of 2000, I think it was 22. It went by really fast this last year. Okay, but in any event, okay. With that said, they were tracking at about $1 million a month in VAST tag money. And that's a result, okay, of us giving them the programming that they needed in order to open up more markets so they can increase their VAST tag footprint, their audience, and therefore, okay, their revenue. So right before, okay, they went dead, okay, or went dark, okay, whichever one you want to call it, they tested one of our networks, which was Comfy, and we tracked at 1,018,000 impressions in one day. So that represented to us right around $300,000 a month that we would get using their footprint, but our content. Without our content, they would have never gotten there. So when they went dark, okay, we had a real, tough time wrestling, okay, with that. Because, we were looking, okay, at several $1 million a year in revenue. So, I said to Maureen, let's go ahead, okay, and build out our own app, which we did. So now our app is available in every format. Okay, we got 68,000 downloads last month on Roku alone. And we're not even pushing it yet. But VAST tags themselves, okay, they're relatively new, okay, they're barely 5 years old. And, think about what we've done. We've gone from 21 markets to 41 markets in less than a year. And, we'll be in 70 markets probably by the end of October.
Wow.
Okay, so the further that, we have 200 million plus viewers with those two agreements that we will sign.
Wow.
And that's about 7 times the size of local B's market when they were, they were at 65 million is where they were. Okay. At 60, they were covering 65 million. In terms of the populace, what would be the FCC populace? Okay. We're beyond that. We're global in nature because if I gave you the list of countries, okay, I'd bore you to death. Okay. But they're big. Okay. And in any event, okay, we're really looking forward to that. We are going to probably launch our first VAS tag probably in about a week. Okay. So that's going to be on, by the way, okay, Hitachi televisions. Okay. So that's the first manufacturer to launch manufacturer at a time. There are 110 of them that is represented by one and 90 represented by another. Some of the brands you've never heard of because they're built, okay, in Indonesia. Some of them are built here. Okay. But yeah, it's going to be an exciting time, okay, for us, okay.
Well, and you look at this, you look at the U.S. digital advertising market, okay, just this alone, and you're looking at a 14% CAGR. All right, that's really impressive. It seems like you're going to be tapping into that. I mean, what you just explained, and people in the chat, a couple of people were like, "Wow, $7 per click is a lot." How big do you plan on getting? I mean, this is huge.
The toughest time, what I have to wrestle with, okay, Eric, okay, is how do you go ahead, okay, and prognosticate or project out, okay, a pro forma when you're dealing with an audience size that's never been dealt with before, and we're a tiny independent, growing very quickly, but a tiny independent. But I know, okay, that we should be in a position to do at least what we were going to do with local, local BTV, then throw in, okay, the global market. Western Europe, Eastern Europe, South America, we cover it all. Southeast Asia, Australia, North America, okay, we've got a huge footprint with these two partnerships that we will announce over the coming weeks. And, I don't want to put a number on it, okay, because, okay, it's nebulous only by virtue of the fact that I'm not afraid to put a number on it. It's just that, okay, I tend to be discerning when I come out, okay, and say, okay, well, I think we could do this, okay, and I need to be conservative, okay, but I would say we'll do several $1 million worth of, VAS tag money this year, okay.
Wow.
I'm pretty confident in that over the next 12 months.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's big.
Yeah, I think it's great. Okay, yeah. We're really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
so,
I know this is something that definitely excites you. I mean, we've talked a lot over the EM process, guys. I've always had a steady communication with him, and there were people telling me, "Nah, they're done. They're expert market. They're done." And you reassured me that you were going to get everything squared away, and here we are. And these developments are absolutely substantial.
Yeah.
And you know what you mentioned, you guys want to apply for a QB in the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
You're going to need a 1 penny share price, which is not some crazy, amount. But do you think you're going to get to that 1 to 2 cent range? And will it be done without a reverse stock split?
Yeah. Okay, it's my opinion, and I believe, okay, the board's opinion also, based on what they get in terms of feedback from me. That evaluation, okay, of about $20 million is really what you need, okay, based on how many shares we have outstanding. So, the opportunities that are brewing, not only, okay, with Maybachs, but inside the other subsidiaries, okay, are substantial enough in terms of their optics. Not necessarily that they're going to generate revenue, okay, this coming quarter. However, in terms of their optics and the credibility factor that will give us, I don't see any reason why we can't capture, okay, a 1 cent share price, in my humble opinion, right? Okay, so it's a $20 million valuation. We have 4 companies underneath the umbrella. Okay, any one of them could be a separate public company, and they're all starting to gather moss. We have some key strategic relationships that we're in the process of developing that I do believe, okay, just one of those relationships can get us there. And so I think, okay, I'm pretty confident to get it by the end of fourth quarter. We'll be able to justify that valuation based, okay, especially, okay, on what we're going to be doing in revenue. That fourth quarter is going to be a monster for us, not ABC, not CNN, but for us, it's going to be a monster, okay, because we have 3 channels now that we're marketing scheduled ads, insert ads on. It's no longer just Comfy. It's Movie Giant. It's iCowboy. And we have a second agency involved. Okay, so, you don't see it. Okay, you don't see the revenue that we're doing based on the first quarter report or even the second quarter, because we're on a very strange cash flow, pathway. Okay, with WorldLink. WorldLink is a good company. Okay, but they only pay you when they get paid. So I can't develop an AR. I can't put it on my balance sheet as an accounts receivable. We've done over 170,000 in ads already, and that's really just running tests for the most part, on Comfy TV. So now we're going into the third quarter with three networks.
You're diving right in, dude. You're diving right in now. So
yeah,
you stuck your toe in the pond and now you're just diving in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
now we're diving in.
Yeah, that's remarkable. Guys, put your questions. We're here for Due Diligence Live. Hit the like button, share the content, and listen. Ask a question. That's what this is all about, because we're going to get to your questions in a bit. All right, let's talk about, I did talk to you briefly regarding a collaboration with a content creator that has created for Netflix. And what can you tell us about this partnership?
I'm excited by that. Okay, a mutual friend of mine. Okay, and actually one of your shareholders. Okay, one of your onlookers. Okay, they know each other from way back. Okay, and so I was introduced to this individual. We started talking. We realized that the synergies that we had, because they had I don't want to go into names, but they had produced a special for Netflix about the greatest athletes of all time. And it went over so well, that they're being asked to do a second one. So in my discussions with that individual, as the CEO of that company, we realized that we need to do a joint venture, because there's a lot of overlap. Okay, and when that's a young company, but with substantial people behind it that really have tremendous credibility within the industries that they delved into. Right. So I expect, hopefully, before the month of August is out, that we're in contract format, okay. And in September, hopefully to announce something. But yeah, you think of any great athlete, it's the perfect fit for Authentic Heroes, because we have something that nobody else can do. We're patented, we got a moat of alligators around that castle, and there's just you need the right distribution. It's like you have the product, but you need the distribution. So having the distribution,
All right, let's not lose signal again. Oh my gosh.
It's on shelves.
Oh, we lost you for a second.
Yeah, I know. I saw that. Okay, I got nervous. Okay, I think it's the heat that's just hitting all these.
This information, you can't be doing this. It can't be tasting me like this. What the hell?
well, to get to the point. Okay, I do believe that we're going to see a joint venture that's going to lead to Authentic Heroes. Okay, just really coming out of the gate, like a bull in a rodeo. There's enough dirt there. There's enough distribution capability. And remember, the one thing that Maybachs can do that helps us in any venue that we have is we can advertise our products for very little or no cost whatsoever, because we own those networks. Yep. When people hear that have a product or an angle for a product, that's when they want to join in. That's when they want to say, hey, okay, that's great. We had some conversations with Costco on record albums, for 2025 for theme music. Okay, when they found out we did TV and we could support that product with TV ads, they're interested. Okay, so that's for down the road. Okay, but yeah, okay, I'm extremely excited by the potential of that joint venture, and look forward to those conversations in the very near future, actually. So
yeah, you guys are putting some really good questions in the chat. I'm going to get to those right after I get to the core of this interview, so make sure you keep putting some great questions for Chris. Now, as your partnerships grow, I'm assuming your revenues are going to grow too, and you're clearly looking to have a huge fourth quarter, like you were saying. What are the key elements? What's the foundation that you're laying now to achieve that?
Okay. Well, as I said earlier, we're in 41 media markets and soon to be 70 markets, which include 2/3 of all the major markets, top 20. To date, we have only marketed one channel, like I said, Comfy TV. Okay, and now we're going to go, start marketing Movie Giant and iCowboy. That starts next week. In addition, we're going into probably the most explosive time of the year for advertising. Okay, which is third quarter, fourth quarter. Okay. And, last November, it was last December. Okay. We did $45,000 in revenue that month. Okay. So now we've got 3 channels. We got a much bigger footprint. We got a much higher rate card. So, I could see, okay, a very strong fourth quarter, okay, also supported by the VAS tags now. Okay, so now VAS tags, okay, are going to get very aggressive in fourth quarter. And sometimes at the end of third quarter, because there's something out there called open enrollment for seniors, okay, for, Medicare Part B, and that gets really aggressive, okay, as far as direct response ads are concerned. It basically, I don't want to say takes over the universe, but it takes up a good 25% of the ad space. Okay, because everybody's after that, because open enrollment only lasts, for you younger guys anyhow, okay, it only lasts, okay, 3 months through January. So, and then it shuts down. You can't sign up for a supplemental plan at that point, okay, to my knowledge anyhow. So, yeah, I'm expecting, okay, a monster fourth quarter, okay, and for us, remember, not ABC, for us.
Well, yeah, and exactly. I think people forget, like, being in the OTC, what you're doing and the connections that you're making sound substantial. So, that's what small business is all about. And now I got to ask you about the contracts, the ones that you're securing now. Do these look like they're one and done, or will they be on a recurring basis? And will you be able to expand and renew these contracts? How's your vibe right now as you're negotiating these things?
Extremely upbeat, because people are coming to us. We're not going to advertising agencies, or for that matter, media buying services are contacting us, right? So, okay, when WorldLink came to us and said, "Hey, we want this joint venture. Okay, I want you to take a look at this joint venture with a group that I think, okay, we're going to sign a deal with, which is a New York Stock Exchange company, a multi-billion-dollar New York Stock Exchange company. I believe, okay, we'll have that deal signed, okay, by the end of August. Okay, and that gives us another 35 markets. Okay, but they're in big markets. Okay, and they are looking at just one channel for that matter. Okay, and that's just Comfy TV. Comfy TV is a family-oriented channel, and okay, and it's so broad, and in terms of the the programming it has, but it's very family-oriented. Okay, so it's non-obtrusive. Okay, and the advertisers like it, media buying services like it, and this one group, okay, happens to like it very much too. So they want to partner up and do a 50-50 split, okay, on the revenue generated within the confines of those 35 markets. So these are markets that we don't necessarily have, markets like Boston, markets like Chicago. Okay, so, and eventually we'll get there, because, the whole idea is to expand your own indigenous footprint, not only do joint ventures like that. So, and there's a way to get that done. It's not like an impossible task. There are things out there, and just if I could have a minute, okay, just to, give you a little further education on how we're going to do that. There are networks out there, whether they be low power, okay, typically low power networks, okay, but have a voluminous amount of channels, okay, so they don't pay a lot of attention. And sometimes you run into, like in Chicago, you could have 12, 15 different, channels out there that are low powered with networks underneath it that range, okay, from 5 networks, maybe to 25 networks. Sometimes they have something called a blank. And a blank, okay, is a television station or a sub-channel that has no programming on it. And if it has no programming on it, the FCC can come in and fine you somewhere between $10,000 to $100,000, or yank that channel from you. Now, it doesn't happen very often, okay, but you get a young Turk that's looking to make his bones, okay, and he says, "Oh, let me get a money grab over here." Okay, guess what? Okay, that'll happen, and there's no avoiding it, okay, once they have you in their sights. So we call up, we say, "Hey, guys, okay, listen, okay, we're over at Maybach's, okay, and the end of the day, okay, we see that you have a blank. We can get 30,000 movies, okay, up there, okay, and inside 24 to 48 hours. Okay, and we'll fill that blank for you, and we'll do a rev share. We'll do a 50-50 rev share. Now we got a footprint in that market. And we have somebody that's going to be doing that full time, actually. Wow. So, we expect to be in all the markets, okay, within a year. We'll be in all 20 major markets on our own. We're already in 16 of them. No, excuse me, 13 of them now. Okay, so.
Remarkable.
Yeah, it's going to be a great time. Okay, telling people that they need to come dance with us again, otherwise they get potential for a fine. okay, or potential to lose that channel.
I guess that's a great opportunity you could seize upon,
Yeah.
So that's great, and it's good that you're able to offer those services.
Yeah.
I want you to
And I think in answer to your first question, Eric, not to interrupt you, these are going to be in some cases multi-year contracts. Some are going to be 1 year auto renew, okay, without mutually people decide to pull away. I think these contracts are going to last for quite some time. Okay, so
yeah. That's awesome. And like you said, this is just you're finally diving in after taking the test runs and stuff, and so that's great. I did want to talk iDream TV. Now, you guys actually streamed a fighting event.
Yeah.
Tell us about that, and tell us more about that. I didn't get a chance to really sit down with you and talk to you about this privately. So,
well, I've been around the fight game for a little while, right? Okay, and I used to do a lot of stuff at Asbury Park Convention Center. Okay, top heavyweights, but not necessarily the Mike Tysons of the world. The Alex Stewarts, the guys like that. Okay, guys that lost to Mike. Okay, but in any event, okay, I've been around that, and Lou has been a friend of mine for a long time. He started broadcasting kickboxing back in the 80s. Okay, so came to me years back with this concept called Ring of Combat. Since MMA was on fire, and he started doing them. And I started to co-promote with him. And at one point I said, Lou, it's a full-time job. Okay, I love you. Okay, but I can't do this. Okay, because, it just takes up way too much time. Okay, he loves it. Man's 76 years old. Okay, and driving hard. Okay, he's probably in better shape than most 20-year-olds. Okay, he's a lifelong martial artist. Like a 3-time middleweight champion, all that stuff. So we started doing this stuff out of the Tropicana Hotel, in Atlantic City called Ring of Combat. We've launched about 197 fighters into the UFC, including 5 champions like Chris Weidman, Matt Serra, guys like that. They all come out of our promotion. So the reason why the fighters come to us, in a lot of cases, is not that we're, bigger or better than the UFC. We're a speck of sand compared to them. But Dana loves the fact that we don't hold our fighters to contracts. We want to see them move on. We want Ring of Combat to be the springboard. So I said, let me bring it to TV. Because you got a great story. Number one, they're doing a Netflix special on Lou Neglia, on this coming September. 2-hour special about Lou. He's probably one of the most unassuming guys you ever met. Just a wonderful individual. Okay, but at the end of the day, the whole idea behind that is to develop an audience through the networks that we own and go ahead, and let people know globally now, since we have that footprint coming, that Ring of Combat you can watch for free. It's live streaming. We own our own streaming channel. We don't pay anybody, to stream it, which can cost you 30, 40, 50 grand to do something like that. Okay, so we do it for nothing. And the idea is to develop a large enough audience over a period of a year where we can do a pay-per-view. And what's a pay-per-view look like with us? A pay-per-view with us, looks more like, $1.99. You can watch this. Why? Because, it doesn't cost us anything. And we don't have to share with like a pay-per-view channel, whether it's Request channel, whoever it may be, they take 50% of what they, of what you bring in on a pay-per-view. That's how it used to work. It's probably down to closer to 30% now, but we keep the whole rake, at that particular point, and we share that with the event producer. So, that's the reason why we did it. Plus, it attracts a lot of audience, a global audience. Fighting is a global sport, as we all know, right? And, and at this point, the markets that we're going into, Western Europe and Asia, with a vast tag and app program, is just perfect for this. So, and that's that. And we're in discussions with an A-lister on a pay-per-view event, by the way. It's probably going to happen mid next year. And this is one of the top 10 people, at least male singers, to do a live event. That would would be in conjunction with something that we would be doing, with the military in Dayton, Ohio. And this is a name that everybody would know. Wow. And heck, we're excited about what we're going to be able to do beyond the scope of ads. Hashtags are insert ads. We're planning a universe. Of many different opportunities, from subscription-based services. That could center itself around our video. We got a karaoke channel that we're going to be announcing very shortly, maybe before this week is out. Which has 2 million followers. okay, that
Wow.
he wants to bring it over, and these
2 million, you said? 2 million followers.
2 million followers on YouTube.
Would that karaoke thing be because I just want to follow up because I'm
Yeah.
interested here. Would that be its own channel then?
Yes.
And then you would be able to run your ads on that channel.
They're going to be
Or
both
they
insert ads and also
Wow.
VAS tags, okay, from that.
So it's like a double dip almost.
Yeah, well, yeah, it is, okay, but it has the perfect audience. It really does have the perfect audience for this sort of stuff. Because, okay, we're going to do 22-minute blocks of music, right? Certain genre, country, rock, okay, this, okay, and at the end of the day, okay, in between it is 4 minutes worth of commercials that we fill up. On the streaming side, it's all VAS tag driven, but but these guys are extremely good at their craft. Okay, extremely good. I don't have to babysit these people. Okay, these are people, okay, that ultimately, been doing this for 17 years. They're the third largest in the country, and I believe, okay, at the end of the day, we can do several $1 million a year. Okay, once this starts getting established, they're already doing several $1 million a year. And that's on cable. They're on Music Choice. They're on satellite, So, okay, the opportunity with karaoke is huge. Okay, I don't want to take too much time. I'm more than happy, okay, to follow up on it once we announce
Absolutely.
it. Okay, so, okay, we're looking forward to that. So channel count's growing. Our footprint's growing on a market-by-market basis. Our households, okay, are growing along with that, obviously. So, yeah, well, it's good. Okay.
Well, I want to know. Yeah, I want to know what those numbers are going to be for karaoke on Friday and Saturday nights. I mean, just think about it. I mean, that just makes sense. So, that's pretty cool. And I mean,
you could use a microphone now. You can't use a microphone when you podcast on YouTube. You know what I mean? Okay, it's just, it doesn't work that way. You could actually get a microphone now. Okay, and sing along. Okay, but it's visual too. Okay, it's not just the words going across the screen. It's very visual. Okay, it has and these got licenses with everybody from Universal Music. Okay, down to Warner and okay, so not down to Warner. Okay, but including Warner. Okay, and Sony and everybody. So he's got a big audience. Yeah, we're looking forward to that very much as well. So, yeah, what else you got for me, Eric?
I got a couple more questions. I do want to talk about convertibles. All right.
Okay.
Listen, I know that the OTC community, they see a great opportunity like this. We're close, and I don't want to focus too much on the share price, but you close 52-week highs, coming out of EM. There's you guys have a lot in the pipeline, like a ton. So I want to talk convertibles. People don't want to get trashed on. They don't want the stock to be trashed. That is a common theme in the OTC and in trading in general sometimes, where you get a big influx of investors, and then boom, all these people come out of nowhere. They can start converting their notes into that high volume, and it sort of stifles the movement. So, it's sort of funny that I'm asking this question, but are people from the inside going to trash this stock as the volume continues to?
As far as convertibles are concerned, first of all, okay, on the inside, remember, okay, anybody on the inside, I don't own any stock. I own 5 million shares. I don't get anything until we earn $1 million and we do an uplisting. That's my deal. Okay, that'll be made official, okay, in 8K probably before. I'm hoping before third quarter's out. Anyhow, there's 0 conversions happening right now. Okay, and now, okay, when you look, okay, at the entirety of those convertible note holders, none of them have any reserves. If they don't have any reserves, they cannot convert into common stock. And I'm not giving them any reserves. Now, okay, at the end of 2020, there was $1.8 billion outstanding. Okay, 4 years later, all right, there's only $2.1 billion. All right, consider that. Okay, well, 4 years, we haven't created that much dilution compared to the amount of opportunity that we've created. Okay, so with that said, okay, we have a very amicable relationship with our convertible note holders, and okay, if the relationship, okay, with them, okay, has been okay, nothing, okay, but I would say, okay, I don't want to go as far as to say friendly, but in the case of 1 or 2, maybe that have supported us actually, okay, and won't do any conversions. Okay, they're looking, okay, for something different. Okay, and I can assure you right now that you will not see any conversions of any consequence. When I say consequence, I mean where somebody's converting into 50, 25, 100 million shit, nothing like that. There may be a little conversion here and there, but it'll be for 5,000 or 10,000. Okay, just to, can you pay me up the interest at least? You know what I mean? One of those things. Okay, so this way I can put it on my books. I have a very, and then what I'll do is I'll release stock from Treasury just so they can do that. But I don't see that happening, okay, until fourth quarter.
Well, how is your relationship with your lenders? And like, are you currently paying down debt? Like,
Yeah. Okay. So, like, as I said, we have a very friendly relationship, non-contentious with all of our convertible note holders. And we just paid off 2 notes in cash. So it's a very controlled environment we've created for conversions as well. I don't expect to see any conversions of any consequence anytime soon. Wow. And you can check, okay, obviously with the transfer agent. Okay. So this way you hold my feet to the fire.
Yeah, we will.
Okay. I'm looking to develop that confidence in this audience, okay? Because I truly appreciate, okay, you guys, taking the time, okay, to do this with us.
No, absolutely. You're welcome here anytime too. And you know what? Even during Expert Market, you still came on and gave us an update, and I appreciated that because there's times when a CEO or a management team decides like, oh yeah, we're gonna ghost our shareholders. I've seen it happen. Yeah. So you haven't done that. You've stayed active. I'm able to contact you. I know the people are able to contact you via email as well. I did want to, before we get to a couple audience questions, and you've already touched on some of these things, but I wanted to give a shout out to some Discord members and pull some of their questions from the Discord. Sure. And so we have Shido. Are you aware that in about 16 to 17 days from Sunday, you have got to have that quarter 2 in? Otherwise, we will go back to Expert Market and you will have will you have the filing in? So
yes. Yeah. As I had mentioned earlier in the show, okay, we had spoken, okay, with our auditor at great detail, good 15, 20 minutes, discussing straight quarter 2. Everything is there for it to be reviewed. And as I asked our auditor, I said, listen, I want you to work, simultaneously with the EQR team, okay, your engagement team, okay, to work with EQR. So this way they work in parallel course. Because, okay, as to that question, to Shido's question, okay, we only have, okay, a handful of days, okay, before it's due. So they agreed to do that, okay? And then they came up, okay, with only 2 changes. So does that mean we could file before there's an extension due? Okay, I'll find out this week, right? Okay, but I'm confident, okay, that we'll meet quarter 2 very easily. With the extension, guys, with the extension, maybe without the extension, possibly.
Well, that's what the extension's there for. People.
I hate it. I hate the extension. Okay, because listen. Okay, I used to preach this to my clients when I was on the corporate finance side of things and running a firm. Okay, and running a bankruptcy fund. And I used to tell them there's no excuse for ever being late because, okay, IBM, Ford. Everybody, yes, they got staff, but guess what? They got 50 different joint ventures. They got this. They still managed to file on time. There's no excuse not to. And so here we are. Okay, and the problem. I mean, half of the. Well, it's really okay. It's a double-edged sword. Okay, because a lot of the auditors, okay, don't take over-the-counter companies seriously. So they push them off to the side. Okay, and the higher paid clients, okay, the ones that get preference. Because just let them take an extension. Okay, I hate the attitude, but that's the way it is. Okay, and in some cases, especially if you're like pink current, they don't take you seriously. And now all of a sudden they're taking us seriously because I told them this is what's going to happen. It's happening, and I will not use you ever again. Okay, if you make me late one more time. Okay, and to that end, okay, I'll keep that promise. Okay, I don't care if he's cheaper than somebody else. He's very good. Don't get me wrong. I like him, and I like Victor very much, actually. Okay, but at the end of the day, okay, I need to have what I need to have, and that is, okay, credibility behind the financials, and at the same time, timeliness of the filing of the financials, especially now that we're starting to generate revenue. Okay, you cannot slow down that ship, okay, by going ahead and being late all the time, because you look and act like an over-the-counter firm then. You know what I mean? It's very typical. I want this to be atypical. So I'm assuming, okay, that second quarter, hopefully, but third quarter for certain. Okay. And beyond that, we'll be on time all the time.
Great.
So
that's what we want to hear. That's what we want to hear. We had a question from Slapmaster Ronnie. What progress deals or updates have occurred since AHRO went into EM? And what are some goals going forward? You touched on a lot of deals and updates. So is there something that you'd like to say to Slapmaster Ronnie here?
Okay, Slapmaster. Okay, you know what? Listen. Okay, what we're doing right now. Okay, and it's interesting. Okay, that you bring up that question because it happened in 2020. I had a choice. Okay, of pulling the 10K or keeping the 10K up there, but nobody was benefiting from that except the convertible note holder. So I yanked it. Okay, and I went to EM. All right. I purposely went to EM. Okay. Well, and what happened? Wow, we actually started to get stuff done because I wasn't doing convertible note paperwork all day long, right? Okay, so, and these guys were aggressive. I mean, we went from 50 million shares to 1.5 billion over just about, okay, in 3 months, 4 months, you know? So anyhow, right now what we're doing is we're surrounding ourselves with the best people we can find in their fields of endeavor, in our fields of endeavor. People like Howard Lau, perfect example.
Yeah.
Waiting like
show. Yeah.
He's waiting like a tiger, okay, for the meat to come. Right. Okay. And we're not that far off. Okay. So, you know.
And for those that don't know, Howard Lau, he was on the show as a former VP at Sony.
Yeah. He was the head of merchandising at Sony and built a $130 million company off $300,000 over a period of almost 16 and a half years. So now he's with us. Okay. And at this point, he sees the authentic heroes proposition as something like highly credible. So getting back to Slap's question, okay, the issue, okay, now is that, you know, we've developed a core group of assets, okay? And what we're looking to do is turn Authentic Heroes into just a significant player in both the media and merchandise industry. We have the people, okay? We've created a process. We have the Authentic Heroes. Okay, to me, it's like a one-stop shop for a musician because we can press your vinyl. We can distribute your vinyl. We can go ahead, okay, and broadcast you live. We can go ahead, okay, at the end of the day, create your NFT package. Okay, I don't even talk about the NFT stuff because we'll get there with another group that we're talking to. Okay, so I don't want to cover it here. It's maybe a little premature. Okay, but you know, at the end of the day, okay, I just think, okay, it's one of those situations that each one of these assets that we've created over the last 24 months are now coagulating. They are now becoming mutually, you know, interdependent still, but at the same time complementing one another to the degree where they will all give buoyancy and lift to each other. Okay, and that's the most important thing because from that you create a brand. Okay, the brand, okay, is okay, and I'm already talking, okay, to branding people. Okay, probably the best guy, okay, that I know, okay, who's on our board of advisors, a guy by the name of Simon Gray. You can look them up, ggny.com. That guy, you know, at this point, okay, says Chris, he said, you know, just let me know, okay, when you're ready. I said, we'll be ready when all of them are firing, okay, together. That's when we're going to let you loose and let you create the brands you did for Harley Davidson and everybody else. And, you know, I couldn't ask for, I've worked with him, okay, on bankruptcy stuff, okay, and he's just great. So I'm really, okay, you know, stoked, okay, about this, you know, about the future, okay, and the fact, okay, that we've had this conversation. And really, I'd really like to thank all of you guys, okay, that stuck with us through that EM, okay, and I understand why people couldn't stick there, okay, and I respect that as well, okay, but it means a lot to all of us here at Choro. So, you know, thanks for the time. Okay, let's have an awesome week. If there are more questions, let's run through them. Okay, I'm here. Okay, and
we still have a couple more questions in the chat. I'd love to get to. There is, and let's take one more here from the Discord. Then I'm going to get to the chat. You know, what kinds of gross income are you hoping to achieve by Q3? And I did talk to Hogman, and he was talking about during Q3 and into Q4, and he did talk about a monster Q4. So,
okay, so third quarter, September. Listen, okay, so ending September. All right, so I'm going to say 100 grand, okay, for that. All right, 100 grand for the quarter. All right, we already have been right around 28, okay? And, you know, we just understand this is the slowest time of the year for advertising. June, July, August are horrible. So September, you know, we'll pick up things, okay, but fourth quarter is really, so fourth quarter, okay, if I want to put a number on fourth quarter, I think there's a very good chance we could do over $250,000 in fourth quarter. Okay, in insert ads. Like I said, VAS tags are a wild card because we're dealing with a global, you know, a global monster. Okay, it's never been done before. Okay, we're doing it because we have the right partners. Okay, that control the operating systems of 200 TV manufacturers. So what they're going to do is they're going to run banner ads because they're our partner. They share in the revenue. They're going to run banner ads and say, hey, come see our new content partner, iDream CTV. And when you click on that, it's going to take you to our electronic program guide. Okay. And if you click on the channel, guess what? A VAS tag pops up. Okay.
Yeah.
And that's going to be done with a populace of over 200 million households. Okay. I mean, I can't project that revenue. Okay. It's just, you know, so
well, that's
for insert ads alone, I feel I feel okay, a few $100,000, okay, for fourth quarter or more.
Yeah,
That's
no,
what-
that's a step in there. That's obviously a big increase from where you were. Let's fire off three questions from the audience here. And so, Anthony DeVideo, how do you plan on creating hype and gathering moths to help the share price get from 1 to 2 cents?
And
I know
just
everything you've talked about. I would think today is exciting.
Well, yeah, no, but I understand Anthony, okay, wants to know what's down the road besides what's here now, right?
Yep.
Okay, and there's a lot more down the road, but good food takes time, right? That's what I always say, okay? And at the end of the day, okay, we have our claws into a number of different partnerships that will take a little bit of time to develop. But as this is the thing, okay, that you will see each and every possibly month starting in January. I want to have that bang up for, fourth quarter. And then first quarter things slow down a little bit, but remember, okay, our household count is going up, okay? And as it goes up, our rate card goes up too, right? So with that rate card increase, okay, each and every month I'm going to come out and say, hey guys, this is what we did in sales this month, okay? And pump it out like retail stores used to do back in the old day. The limited stores, anybody in the retail business would come out with sales, for the quarter. And then they stopped doing it because, projected sales for the quarter because, either long side buyers or short sellers, okay, would go ahead and take advantage of it. So when the real numbers came out, they were already positioned. So they stopped doing it. I'm not worried about that. Okay. What I'm worried about, okay, is maintaining, okay, credibility with our shareholders and everybody else to the degree where you feel each and every month you're getting informed. Okay. And you're being informed with numbers, not hype. Okay. You're not going to see fluff come out of this company. We just don't do fluff. So, the issue, okay, going forward, okay, is to make certain that we continue to grow the footprint. Every time we open up another market, you're going to get a tweet. Okay, we just opened up this. I can't put out PRs on everything because they're damn expensive. They charge you $600, $700, $800 to put out a PR. If I would put out a PR, okay, of everything that we have in the pipeline, it would cost me probably $25,000. Okay. We have a lot of breadth and depth, okay, in the type of press that we can bring to the table. Certain things that are very material, they will be press releases, like the ones we have coming now. Okay, so that you'll see, okay, happen all the time. But yeah, it's always, Anthony, it's always going to be a matter, okay, of showing the marketplace, okay, that you have a plan and that you're executing the plan. And that's what keeps confidence in people to want to hold on to something a little bit longer, maybe whether you're a swing trader, day trader, whatever. Okay, long-term investor. Okay, it's always about the company being credible. Okay, so you'll get that from us. And by the way, okay, anybody who ever wants to call me, please do. I don't hide under desks when things go wrong, as Eric knows. Okay, and I'm sure as hell will be here when things are good. So
yeah, no credibility. That's important. Consistency is important. I say that. Be there when times are bad and good. Don't disappear off the face of the earth just because maybe you had a bad quarter. That's what it's all about. That open line of communication. Stephanie Spear, do you expect more big contracts in 2025?
Good question, Stephanie. Okay, I think in 2025, what you're going to see is the pronouncement of the Authentic Heroes proposition that we have. That's going to take full form. I have 3 people that are going to be working Authentic Heroes. One of them is that person, okay, that I was discussing earlier, okay, that for that matter, okay, is doing the GOATs, okay, greatest of all time athletes. He will be an entree into those people, but I'll have Howard Lau working the music angle. I will have Scott Todd, one of our board members, probably coming on full time as opposed to just a board member. That guy's got 40 years worth of licensing experience and knows every major out there. We're in touch with Authentic Brands Group, ABG. If you look them up, it's a private company, about $17 billion, okay, in financing. Jamie Salter, excuse me. Okay. And we're going after the Elvis Presleys. We're going after the Marilyn Monroes. We're going after, okay, the Michael Jacksons. That's what we're doing. We're going after A-listers with Authentic Heroes because it's meaningful. Chances are, again, Stephanie, okay, that we could sign, okay, an agreement with the NFL next year, okay, do a license with them that'll allow us, okay, to, go after the top 10 players. Okay, that's what comes with a $100,000 license. You get 10 players. You got to go to the NFLPA. NFLPA says, okay, 10%, okay, is what you're paying royalty on each sale. So, there's a lot of that in the pipeline, okay, with leagues, okay, because with leagues, okay, you get a predictable amount of potential income, If you got 10 licenses with 10 players from Patrick Mahomes all the way on down to that guy who plays by you in Buffalo, that quarterback, okay, what happened to Love, by the way? Okay, yeah. Okay, you're going to do 3,000 to 5,000 shirts. Yeah, there you go. Okay, 3,000 to 5,000 shirts with each individual at $159. These are authentic heroes type shirts. Okay, they will have a QR code that allows you to go ahead, okay, and create an NFT. Okay, the digital version, the digital cousin of the physical item. Okay, this is our proposition. We've already met with MLB, PA. Okay, and they love us. It's a matter of this. You don't get this until you show that you deserve that. Okay, and
so that's where you're at right now.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
It's a stepping stone. So I think that, and you've humbly said that, hey, we are the small guy right now, but the potential, if you prove yourself by fourth quarter, you know, and have that stepping stone and prove yourself, if you get the big concert that you're talking about in Dayton, Ohio, and if that's a successfully streamed event, if you know, that is creating confidence with your consumer.
I'm so excited about that pay-per-view angle, okay, because listen, when you have an audience, okay, hundreds of millions of people, potentially hundreds of millions of people, and you have an A-lister, what are the chances that you could do 1 million, 2 million, 3 million pay-per-views? We have no cost in it other than what's known as CDN, okay, which is the storage and the bandwidth that goes along with supplying 3 million households. But why can we do that? Because we're only going to charge $1.99. All right. Okay. And if you can get 2 million households, it's a $4 million event. You follow what I'm saying? Okay. So who can't afford $1.99 to watch an A-lister? Okay. Depending on your genre of music, okay, and who you like, who you don't like, okay, but you follow what I'm saying. Okay. So, I mean, okay, the opportunities are very large in 2025, Stephanie.
Yeah. And I have one more question from the audience.
Sure.
That question is from Mad Scientist. Have they tried to connect with Byron Allen that bought the Weather Channel and is expanding his U.S. media company? I'm
very familiar, okay, with Byron Allen, okay, and you know, his group, okay, and Byron, okay, we were right around the corner from doing something with him. The old Maybachs had an agreement with him, okay, but I remember, okay, Maureen, okay, this is when I first, you got to understand, guys, okay, I invested in Maybachs a few years back when it was basically a startup. It had 5 channels, but the woman that came behind it had a tremendous amount of experience. Okay. And she knows a lot of different people. People like her very much. Okay. And she's very trustworthy. Okay. So she worked with HBO. She opened up HBO Eastern Europe. She worked with Sinclair Broadcasting. Okay. She was a key component over there to their growth. And Byron Allen and her, okay, through a third party, I can't remember his name, you know, signed an agreement, but there was something to do, okay, with VAS tags that they weren't putting up the VAS tags or something like that. Okay. And, you know, the relationship fizzled out. However, that doesn't mean it can't be revisited. Listen, okay, you know, when you look like nothing, people don't pay attention, right? Okay, you're just a speck on the wall. Okay, we're becoming a little bit less specky. Okay, and people are paying attention. And Byron Allen, okay, is a perfect. It's a great question because
it is a good question.
You know, it's a great question. Okay, because. We haven't forgotten about Byron, and he won't forget about us, okay, eventually, okay, and at that point, we'll go to him, okay, for what? For the footprint that he brings to the table, which is a very large footprint. So we do a rev share with him, okay, we'll get there. We'll get there, okay, and good, it was a good point, good question.
Well, listen, this has been a very, very entertaining and very informative session with you. Any final thoughts that you want to share with shareholders, potential shareholders, as you guys crawl out of the depths of EM hell and really, you know, come full throttle, it sounds like. So the floor is yours, Chris.
Well, okay, listen, again, I can't emphasize, okay, let's just say, okay, the humbleness, okay, that, you know, an EM brings to you, you know, okay, it's really, okay, a horrible place to be because you know, the last time they didn't expect me to come out, you know, and I did. And these are the convertible note funds, okay? Because who was worried? The convertible note funds, they have more convertibles that, you know, that convert. Ultimately, they weren't able to, okay? But, you know, at the end of the day, okay, having the confidence, okay, of the people that have really shown us the support by sending me emails, asking questions, poignant questions, frivolous questions that don't make a difference. The fact that you're asking questions is what means something to me, okay? And I always answer. All right. So, and I encourage you, anybody out there, okay, to really pick up the phone. I hate email, but I'll answer it. Okay. But I'd much rather have a conversation with you. So this way we can talk. Okay. And you'll find out a lot more than you will in an email because I hate typing. Okay. But at the end of the day, voice recognition, maybe. Okay. But that doesn't work out so well either. Make certain you go ahead and
I can confirm that. I can confirm that because sometimes he'll voice, like I'll look during the EM period. I was texting you and I'm like, this sentence does not make sense. He totally, and then you would voice text. This is voice text,
Right.
And I was laughing. I'm like, I go, this is a funny sentence. And
I always said, okay, it's prejudice against people from Brooklyn, New York, okay, or the Bronx or someplace like that with South, okay, heavy accent people, right? In any event, okay. Hey, great call, guys. Okay, this was great. Okay, I really appreciate your time. Okay, and pay attention to what we're doing. Okay, and watch our feet because okay, you're going to see them moving real soon.
And we're going to have you in the Discord only to just do a Discord only thing because I want you to break down these different divisions of authentic holdings, and that way we could better understand the intricacies of each individual division. So that's going to be exciting. So thank you very much. And thanks for being a part of the BFC.
Hey, it was great. You guys have a great night. Okay, what's left of this weekend and a healthy week.
You got it.
Now, guys.
Now get out of here. Get out of here. All right. It's always good to have Mr. Chris Giordano. Very informative session. So a lot to break down there. It's one of those things. And when I do these interviews, I go back and I listen a couple times because I'm like, all right, what do I forget? Because I take notes and I get what I can, and sometimes I miss stuff. So, always do that as well, guys. Very exciting. And like I said, to my Discord members, we definitely are going to have him in there. He's actually in there in the AHRO room, so if you ever have questions, feel free to reach out to him. But like he said, he likes to talk, not text or email, but he will. I know, probably reluctantly. The voice to text thing, that's funny. I had to bust his chops on that a little bit. I really did. Let's get into we have an event going on very, very soon in the Discord. So before we do that, I want to talk about some stocks that I tagged, and let's get right to it, guys. All right. Ilus, Qind, SAML. I'm going to make sure that the comments are open here so that way I could see what you guys are doing. All right, let's see what these guys now. I'm going to be very, very short with this. Just want to cover the news here. On July 19th, the parties for Qind and ASNS, they extended the non-solicitation and no-shop periods through the end of August 2nd, 2024, unless otherwise mutually terminated. All other terms remain unchanged and in full force and effect. But just recently, Friday, they agreed to extend the non-solicitation and no-shop periods, and basically this is going to go till August 16th. All right, and so I think True Vision moves. Shout out to you. I think you got it. Qind stated that Q2 financials will be released by 8/15 or earlier. They said the 8/16 extension may be possible for ASNS to confirm everything looks good with Qind's Q2 fins, ensuring legitimate potential for growth with the acquisition. All right. We anticipate filing our results on or before August 15th. So I think that is a very, smart way to look at it. That's just my opinion, not financial advice. But this is how I think of this thing. And you could agree with how I'm saying this or not, but the risk is Qind. Right now, this is the template that they're going to use. The play, in my opinion, is SAML. All right. If you don't want to take that risk, is hey, are they able to get this uplist done? Are they going to complete it? And these things could fall through at any given moment. That's the truth. All right. That's just the facts, So I think the play is SAML. Now, a lot of you are loading into Qind, and that's fine because if they get this uplist, it's going to be huge. You're going to make money, I would think, on Qind, especially based on the valuation that they give it. For me, I'm looking at SAML because let me tell you this. Well, I'm going to tell you my opinion, not financial advice. I played the damn disclaimer, but I will say the play is SAML, and this is why. If Qind is successful, if the valuation is decent, if you increase your worth in share worth, then guess what? SAML is going to follow suit. SAML is beaten down right now. If you're quietly loading this one and QIND uplists, if they give it a strong valuation and you make a lot of money, guess what? People are going to see that they're applying the same thing to SAML. All right. And I like it. It was back here in the bottoms, at 008. It could go there. Now with this extension, it might. Nothing's pushing this thing up. A big catalyst for SAML is QID, and I know that they think this too. Ultimately, the investment is Ilus. Nick Link said something along the lines of self-cannibalistic, where a lot of investors, they go to QID, they go to like they're intertwined, and they are. I think Nick is right. Let's go back to June 28th in the letter. All right. He says this. We are on track to finalize the uplisting of QIND, which I believe will bring significant value to Ilus and its shareholders. Once QIND completes this process, it should pave the way for substantial progress for SAML, which in turn I anticipate will benefit Ilus and its shareholders. Dividend. Ilus itself is currently in discussions and preparing for an uplist, albeit taking a different route than QIND and SAML. This will involve some structuring and the acquisition of new assets, which is already underway. As is often assumed, this route does not involve a reverse split. All right. So I get this. QIND completion equals substantial SAML progress. All right. So for me, I'm loading SAML in my mind. And, for real. And then the other note, Ilus preparing uplist different from the QID and SAML templates. So these things take time. They don't happen overnight. They could crumble at any given moment. They're obviously in the final throes of negotiations. Obviously, the parties want to make sure that they're getting what they're getting, what they agreed upon. And so I think, after quarter two fins, if ASNS likes what they see, they're going to go for it, and I don't see it not happening, but, disclaimer, it could crash and burn. I don't think that's going to happen. I think that they've worked on this thing for a year and a half on this. So if they succeed with QIND, SAML is going to see an influx of buying. Just my opinion. You do you. All right. Now I want to talk a little bit about Sfwj. All right. This has been added to the BFC watch list. But guess what? I'll tell you what. We'll talk about it in a second. 3-cent share price, 3.5 cents, $14 million market cap, and held at DTC 63 million, and the float is 301 million. But it's not. There was actually an update. And by the way, I'm going to get to that update in a second. So this is what they do. MedCanna, holding company focused on acquiring, developing companies in the cannabis and CBD oil sectors. Okay, cool. CEO, Gabriel Diaz, and counsel is Eric Newland. He's counsel for many other stocks. The BFC Discord Q&A is today, right after the show. All right. It's going to be great. I can't wait. But in regards to the float, like I was saying, Sigma Equities was on it. Boom. Just updated on OTC markets. A 60% reduction in the float. 60% reduction in the float, guys. That's nice news. That is nice news. And I want to finish off with the low float summer because I think there's just pressure building. The volume's going to end up coming back to these, So this was great news to see. A float of 118 million just updated. So that's important. All right, let's keep moving. The global cannabis market. All right. 30% CAGR. That's it right there. I'm happy with that. We're going to see an influx. We're in 2024. Between this and 2026, we're looking solid. So a lot of growth. Looks like about 30% growth. Just, man, that's nice. That's nice. So I don't know. I think when they deschedule cannabis, it's going to be huge. And so, yeah, we'll find out. And here is the bonus play. LUDG. I'm liking this one more and more. And so I'm in the beginning elements of due diligence with it. I plan on reaching out to the company. Let's talk a little bit about the bones of this one. All right. $20 million market cap, held at DTC, 33 million. It's a low float. US reporting, SEC, fully audited. Let's look at their most recent PR. Ludg Enterprises files provisional patent on mRNA genetic screening signals in breast, colon, and bladder cancers. All right. They filed a provisional patent titled mRNAs differentially expressed in colorectal cancer, breast cancer, and bladder cancer. The present invitation generally relates to the use of mRNA genetic transcripts to A, identify and differentiate between cancers, and B, determine the effectiveness of a treatment for a cancer. The mRNA biomarkers uncovered by Ludg are a sensitive dynamic genetic signal associated with cancer that opens the door for the company to participate in the emerging billion-dollar diagnostic cancer screening market. Ludg has uncovered game-changing mRNA-based genetic signals associated with the presence of cancer. The company continues to collect mRNA samples from over 40 multi-purpose medical clinics throughout the United States. Our proprietary machine learning AI technology allows continuous statistical updates as additional patient data is received. And so, looking at the chart here, it's beaten down right now. That low float moves like nothing. So I'm out of the mentality of like, oh, we need a trip to rip. We need, I love that. Don't get me wrong. I love 000 stocks that have potential to run and have catalysts and this and the other. That's great. But I'm looking at low floats a lot lately. I like this one. I like the fact that they updated their float. I like the fact that this chart is down. You don't want to this is when you want to load stocks, is when they're down and beaten up and they're forgotten about. These guys are going to be more vocal. I could tell you that right now. Let's look at the 3-year and you just look at the pattern going on here. Here we go. Whoop, going up and back down, going up and back down, going up, and we're back down here. Now, it's consistent. I think that eventually, with an influx of volume, this thing could pop off. I do think this thing could pop off. But this is in a buy zone. Look, it's down, and you just see the pattern here. So look out for that one. I'm excited about it. Put it on your watch list. And I want to show you a clip of the CEO, just a small clip. And I'm hoping to have the whole team on the show eventually. I'm going to be reaching out. I haven't had a call with them yet, but you know what we do here at the BFC. We provide that first-hand due diligence, and it's very exciting. So let's take a listen.
Give us a little bit about your background, NIH. So you mentioned you worked with Dr. Fauci at some point. Give us a little bit of background.
I didn't work with Fauci. I was there when he came there also, a long time ago. I had my MD degree from New York University School of Medicine. I then was a general surgeon at Mount Sinai Hospital in New York. And I was drafted into the Marine Corps in Vietnam. And then I suddenly got a letter from NIH saying, because of your work in transplants, I helped develop some parts of the HLA system, how you type people for transplants. They said, would you like to come to NIH? And I wrote a letter to the Secretary of the Navy, and I got referred to NIH.
Wow.
I got transferred to the Public Health Service and had a high rank. I used to go to the White House, in fact, when Nixon was president. And I discovered these inflammatory components of the complement system that cause the macrophage, the killer cell, to attack cancer cells and attack bacteria. And from there, I was invited to go to UCLA. It was one of the top urology programs in the United States. And I then developed a product called BCG when I was a resident at UCLA, which is a vaccine for tuberculosis. And I was the first to show in 1975 that you can use it as an anti-cancer agent for kidney cancer and bladder cancer. And that launched my career. I did work for Bristol Myers developing antibiotics. I had a company on the New York Stock Exchange called Medco. We then developed one of the largest selling antidepressants in the world, Wellbutrin, for the Wellcome Foundation. We then developed our own drugs, and we were acquired by Qind Pharmaceuticals in 1998. And my indication is now part of Pfizer. So I think I've done well, but I'm very excited today to be invited by Ludg through their acquisition of this technology that I developed, because I think we have a signature that we can take a snapshot of your body at a moment in time. And then we can look at that snapshot and develop an inflammatory index for you at this moment.
Wow.
And then maybe could you have symptoms, come back 6 months later, when it's still silent, do another snapshot and look at your inflammatory index. Is it increasing or is it decreasing?
So yeah, I like what I hear. I plan on sitting down with the team at some point. I plan on reaching out more, getting more due diligence to you guys. And I'm looking at what Michael Anthony is saying. I'm not buying it or anything or going into a recession. We don't know where we're going to go. There's a lot of anticipation that says we're going to go into a recession and the market's going to crash. One thing I have learned is that we looked at so many stocks running on Friday as the shit was hitting the fan on the big boards. I sort of feel like there's this insulation around the OTC. And so that's my opinion. You guys do you. I mean, obviously, if you're worried that there's going to be a recession, there's going to be a huge ass economic pullback, then yeah, you want to wait for it to crash and then buy. But I'm looking for short to medium term opportunities. And I'm also looking for long-term plays as well that could survive, a crash. And I hope that a crash doesn't happen. I was talking with Nick Coriano in depth last night, and we had a good conversation. And when the crash happens, if it happens, the market is cyclical, and we have to understand that. And you got to get in the mindset in that. There is going to be, I think there's going to be a quicker rebound, than it was, back in the 1920s. You know what I mean? It just things fix themselves faster. Do I think the housing market's going to crash? I think that could be a big trigger to a big economic pullback. Properties are completely overvalued, stupidly overvalued. I go for walks in my neighborhood and I see houses that are priced for close to $500,000 that were on the market for, 100,000 or 90,000 prior, so yeah. And, Michael, you got a point. There's crazy, and I don't want to get too much into this, but, all hell's breaking loose in the UK. I don't want to get political, but, there's a lot of civil unrest going on in the world. There's a lot of tension in the world. That's just the truth, but the world has always been mad. The world has always had war. The world has always had conflicts. The world has always had economic pullbacks and crashes. And here we are. Imagine being that person, back during the Great Depression when the market collapsed, but here we are. We came back. A lot of people didn't. A lot of businesses didn't. But, there with the crash comes the recovery. And so I'm putting myself in that mindset, just to be prepared for it, and get in a mindset to buy. We buy the crash, we buy the dip, and that's just it. Smart people, like during COVID, when a lot of businesses crashed, a lot of people bought, and most of those stocks are covered. And so you want to wait for those opportunities. As for OTC, I think that there is somewhat of an insulation around it, and so we'll see what happens. JRC Stock Talk, good to see you. Looking forward to November 3rd. We're catching a Bills game. Yeah, we're gonna beat the Dolphins. He wants to see it in person. No, I'm just kidding. Well, no, I'm not. I'm not kidding. I'm not. Go Bills. What's up with MEIL? I like it. I think it's a buy right now. I think this is another low float beauty. I think that they have a lot going on, especially with their B2 bio-oils. More to come on that one. So I have reached out to the company, waiting to hear back. There's a lot in the works, and I know they just relaunched their Twitter. That's awesome. Get over there and check them out. And so, yeah, that's it, guys. That's all I got. That's all I got. But I want to say a sincere thank you to you guys for being a part of BFC Nation, being a part of this community, this growing community. I said this was going to be the year of the BFC, and I think that it has been. We've done so many interviews. We've had so many moments, of success. Actually, we've had a couple of our stocks really, move extremely well. The AHRO recovery is great. IGPK, blasted off. Tons of opportunity there. IFIS is on a tear, and IFIS is crawling back up. Watch that one. Watch ticker IFUS. It's exciting. It's exciting stuff. So I honestly thank you to all you guys. Thank you for being a part of this community. But that's really all I got. And let's get over to the Discord folks, because guess what? we got another Q&A to do. So we're not stopping. We're grinding. We're going. And remember, there's more that binds us than breaks us, guys. Peace out. Seriously, peace out.